This week's modules deal with the term structure of interest rate, and they're covered in Chapter 19 of the textbook, and I'd suggest strongly that Chapter 19 be read very carefully. It does a nice job of laying out the term structure of interest rates, and these modules will supplement that material. Term structure of interest rates gives some individuals, students, problems, but once you get onto the ideas, it's relatively simple. This week's modules cover two topics, and they're covered as well in Chapter 19. The first is term structure, and we'll cover there three different types of rates: yield to maturity, which you've already seen, spot rates, forward rates. So our first topic is the term structure and three different types of rates: yield to maturity, spot rates, and forward rates. And then we'll look at the yield curve and how that yield curve is formed, and some of the theories that go into the calculate or why rates vary along the yield curve. When we're looking at yield curves or the term structure, we're always looking at it from the standpoint of U.S. Treasuries. So that implies base rates with no default risk. Again, the risk that we face here is inflationary risk, but not the default risk. We don't expect U.S. Treasuries to be defaulted on in the future. And again, yield curves, U.S. Treasury, base rate. So we're looking at the base rate, where we could conceivably do yield curves and term structure at any risk level. Typically we don't, because it's hard to define similar bonds of similar risk levels, and typically only look at this at the base rate. The next modules will go through both the term structure and yield curve.